So let's start just by sitting still for a moment, but try to picture your skeleton, right? See the architecture. I think, if you look inside of a building, you see like steel girders, like the weight-bearing part of the building. That's what our bones are. So see if you can notice your bones or visualize your bones holding you up, because what that lets us do is to take all the muscles out of it. Our muscles are wonderful for moving, but when we're sitting still and our muscles are active, that's called tension, right? And chronic tension is when we have places where we hold it all the time. It's just some of us get in habits. Sometimes it's physically protective, sometimes we have like an ache or a pull or something that our body is protecting. Sometimes it's more of like a emotional or psychological protection and shielding. They actually call it, some authors call it muscular armoring, right? Because when we run into things that are difficult or scary, we get ready to fight or flee, right? But our muscles tighten to prepare. So sometimes we just get stuck that way, right? And one of the goals I would like for us to do here in class is to let go of places like that. First we find them, right? Because we don't have to do anything beyond that usually. As soon as we feel where it's happening, that notice and that close focus, our body responds to that and our mind responds to that outside of our conscious work, right? We don't even have to do it on purpose. We just have to know it's happening, and our body usually fixes it with our attention and our awareness. So notice at first that solidity, right? Notice how you're being held above the floor without any participation from the muscles. Okay, let's take a big inhale and let's put it into the ribs, right? So think of the upper body as two zones, the lower abdominal zone, the upper chest zone, and let's fill up that upper tank, right? Breathe in big and hold it. Now we're gonna pull our belly in towards the spine and up under, right? And that's a direction, that's not a place, right? We're just pulling up and in with our lower belly. And as soon as it gets time to either release the belly or let go of the breath, just let them both go at the same time, right? Let's do that once more now that we've got the hang of it, right? Breathe in big, fill up the rib cage. Hold that, and then tuck up and in with the belly button and the abdomen. And whenever it's time to let go, let it go. Awesome. This time, let's warm up our neck a little bit. Let's go ahead and take our left ear over towards the left shoulder, right? Sometimes you'll see people like, I don't really like to pull on it. I feel like in this sort of exercise and this sort of work with our body, I like to use my own body weight as much as possible. However much my arm weighs, that's how much pull is getting put on the twist. So let your head do the stretch here. Bring your left ear over toward your left shoulder, release through the right shoulder and the right side of the neck, and see if you can feel any opening in the jaw or below the right ear, all down into the right shoulder. We're trying to make space. The outside of any curve or the outside of any angle in general, that's where we're bringing space in because we're lengthening, right? That curve is making the muscles longer and making the connective tissue longer. All right, let's bring our head back up to center, and then we're going to lower our right ear towards the right shoulder. See what you can do to release. Maybe it's the left jaw, the left side of the neck. Just let your head hang with gravity. See if you can feel that space in the left side. Okay, let's take a few easy neck circles here. So roll your head back, and then to the left, and then forward. We're going slow, we're being careful, we're paying close attention. And those things keep us safe, right? That allows us to move our bodies in ways that we're not accustomed to because we're really taking care of ourselves, right? We're really paying attention. We're aware of what's happening in the body. So that sort of gives us the permission and gives us the safety to try weird things and try new things because we're doing it mindfully. Let's circle the other way. Okay, when that feels complete, let's do that same circling idea, but let's take it to the center of the body. So I like to treat my solar plexus as like the center point of this movement. So what we're going to do first is push it out to the left, and then it's going to circle back, and then it's going to go out to the other side, and then circle forward. Right? At each point, we're trying to reach the limit, right? The edge, as Lacey calls it. We're trying to find the place where, okay, my body doesn't go anymore in that direction, right? And we're not forcing it. We don't even have the goal. We don't even have the plan of changing it. We just want to be there and learn it. Not only does it bring us closer to our body and teach us about how our body works, it feels good, and I like to think of the limits of the body, the limit of our range of motion. See if you can find the flip side of it where that's actually stability. If your body didn't stop moving this way, you would just flop on over, right? You have to have some constriction. You have to have limit in order to have form, right? Let's circle the other way. Whenever you run up against something, you're like, I'm not as limber as I used to be. Try to think of it in terms of like, okay, this is the shape I'm making, and learn how to lean on it. So many yoga balance poses, that's what you're doing. It's not using your muscles to force it upright. It's learning what you can depend on. When this joint is straight, you can lean on it a little bit, right? So we're trying to find those points where it feels like a limit, but it's actually just the shape of the body, and we find cool tricks to make it useful. Okay, let's go ahead and take both legs out straight, and we're going to get a nice wide stance here. And we're going to start working on the muscles inside the legs, okay? Whenever we're doing this, it's the back of the legs. When we change the angle, it's the inside. You probably already feel it, but just to let you know where to expect it. So check in first and make the upper body regular, easy pose. That means this is relaxed, lower back is tucked forward. We make a plan to keep the upper body tall to start with. Excuse me. And let's use our hands and arms here and just gently walk it forward. So you can lean weight on your fingertips so that you find the exact right place. Excuse me. And again, we try to find that border, right? Okay, this is as far as I can comfortably go. And I'm not backing away from it, but I'm also not trying to force further into it. And then what we learn though is when we gently lean on things like that, just using our body weight, right? Not forcing it, it does change, right? It opens up gradually, bit by little bit. And we just are there present for it and watching it. There's a wonderful term in Buddhism where they call it lust for results. It's an obstacle when you're trying to learn and you're trying to meditate. It's like, if you have a goal, if you have an objective, like I'm gonna do this pose so that I can, like, I don't know what we would try to achieve. But if we have an objective, it gets in the way of learning how to do it beautifully and doing it for its own sake, right? Just because it's our body and it's good to use it this way. Sometimes when we're trying to attain something, we lose sight of the reason that we're doing it. Okay, let's come on upright, and we're going to take the legs out straight, right next to each other this time. And let's get our hands right behind the hips, but pointed backward. Okay, this is the reverse plank. It doesn't matter if your hips actually leave the floor. What we're trying to do is keep this straight to use it as leverage, keep the legs straight to use it as leverage, and push down, lift the front of the body. make it doable, right? Make any sort of adjustments that make it feel better. Okay, let's go ahead and sit it back down, and then we're going to take the arms up straight, reach long to lengthen the back, and then fold forward from the hips, right? Extend the upper body out over the legs, and when you find that good, spacious feeling starting to happen in the back of the legs, now we just let the upper body come to rest. Because when we do these forward folds, it's best if we can get the rest of the body just chilling, comfortable, because we're more likely to stay there longer. When we're doing these things to introduce space to the body, which is what most forward folds do, or most cooling poses do, you can't really rush it. There's no way to do it hard and do it fast and get it over with. It takes time. So we're more likely to take that time if we get somewhere where it's comfortable and the body's just like, okay, yeah, it feels pretty good. Okay, we came down keeping straight, coming up, let's just roll it upright. Start coming upright from the lower back and then the middle back and the shoulders and the neck come up last. Okay, this time, let's go ahead and cross actually let's bring both feet in together. Soles of the feet are in together, we're gonna hold the ankles. Okay? Give the ankles a little pull, and we're just trying to like snug up this angle here of the legs. Try to find that place where we meet that resistance again, okay? Now we're gonna go up with our head. Crown of the head keeps getting taller. Lower back, solar plexus keeps getting forward. And now we're just gently pressing our knees toward the floor, right? Remember, the goal is not to make contact. The goal is to keep pushing. All right, that's good. Let's switch it up to tabletop. Okay, good old cat-cow here. Inhale, nice slow inhale is gonna curve our back up, drop the head. And the exhale lets the upper body drop. We're going to tilt the tailbone up and lift the crown of the head. Okay, good. Let's take the right leg straight out behind us. Okay, now we're going to point or bend the right knee first and then point it up. Okay, open the hips so that we're pointing the knee up. Now we're going to circle our knee forward towards the right shoulder. And then it's going to tuck back underneath us. Okay, it's just a big circle. Straightens back. And then it bends and points out. And then circles forward. And then it tucks under. Okay? That's good. Let's try the other side. So we start just by extending the left leg. And then we're going to bend the knee, point it up. And then we're going to circle it up in the direction of the left shoulder. And then it's going to tuck under. And then go back straight. Okay? Big, slow circle. We're moving the knee, and I'm like referencing the knee to say the direction, but the left hip is where the good stuff happens. So if you feel comfortable and you feel stable, close your eyes and see if you can send all of your attention down into the left hip. And then make that circle intentionally big as it will go, right? Leaning on that good limit. Not only does that give us a bigger stretch physically, it adds a really rich dimension to our practice when we're paying attention, right? Doing things on purpose. It is going to give us more than just sort of like moving through the motions. I'm speaking of myself here because even sometimes when I teach a class, I'm sort of going through the motions and I'm not really in there fully. But when I do manage to practice what I preach and really focus, it's way better and way more fun and way more interesting. Okay, let's land the knee, and then we'll take some child's pose, right? We're just going to sit back towards the heels, and it might feel better on your knees to stay together. Some people like to do it with knees wide, whichever way feels most comfortable. We just want to let the upper body come to rest and let the head come to rest. You can make your little hand pillow here or come all the way to the floor. Really release, feel, appreciate the pull of gravity, right? Who knows where we would be if there were no gravity. Feel how gravity's keeping you connected to the ground. Okay, let's come on up, and then we're going to roll to our backs. And we'll start with our legs out straight. Let's first get the right knee in front of us, and we're just going to hold it with both hands. Okay? Now, give it a gentle pull in, right? Not too hard. Just see what the shape of it is. I have a nagging hip thing. It's either because of a new pair of shoes I have, or I've done something running, like jogging, and it just hasn't gone away yet, so I'm gonna keep studying it. But I'm just saying, like, when you have something like that, like an injury or a pain, try to get to it. We don't want to hurt it worse, of course, but we want to try to classify it and see more deeply into it. My buddy Mikey had a back issue and went to the doctor, and he said the first thing the doctor asked him was, "Well, have you rubbed it?" It's funny. All right, let's go side to side. You don't have to keep pulling in. Let's just take the knee side to side. And again, let's pay attention to the hips, in particular, the right hip, and see what happens when we change the angle of the femur. Okay, let's see if we can reach up, sit up if we need to, and let's see if we can grab the right foot or toes or ankle, right? And then let's see if we can bring it a little straight, right? It doesn't have to be all the way straight. You just want to straighten it a little bit until it becomes a forward fold, right? Until we feel it start to make space in the back of the leg. And we can hold the leg anywhere that we would like, right? Behind the knee, behind the calf. find somewhere where you can use the right arm to gently pull back with a straight leg. Okay, that's good. Let's let the right leg come down to rest, and we'll get the left knee in front of us. Same deal here. Let's use both hands at first just to give it a little gentle pull. And then we'll take it side to side. Okay, excellent. Let's take both legs back out straight. And then we're going to bring our hands down beside our hips, right? Arms by our sides, palms down. And give a little press into the floor, right? We don't have to push hard. We're not even really trying to like work with the push. It's just sort of stabilizing the upper body. Press your hands down. Now, press your lower back down and lift the head and shoulders. Right? We just want to lift just enough to get the shoulders off the floor and see if you can get taller, right? Reach out through the crown of the head. Try to make the effort stable and smooth so that we can just stay here for a little bit. Okay, from the lower back, let's roll it back up towards the shoulders. And when our head makes it to the floor, just relax. Okay, let's take some bridge pose. So we're going to step in with both feet. We got our feet flat to the floor. And then, once again, let's press down with the lower back. Okay, it's basically switching on the abdominal muscles. Press down with the lower back, and then just lift the tailbone, right? So we've made a little gap between the back of the hips and the ground. Now we're just going to roll up slowly. See if you can feel one backbone at a time. Leave the mat. Once we're supported by the back of the shoulders, keep lifting the hips. Keep the front of the hips lifting. Okay, from the shoulders, see if we can roll down slow enough to feel one vertebra at a time. Enjoy it as we roll down the spine. And then once the back of the hips come down, let's take both legs out straight. Okay, this time let's bring both arms up in front of us. We're going to interlace our hands and then flip the palms, just like we do for palm tree pose. But this time, we're going to bring our hands and arms up overhead, just like palm tree pose. This one is concentrated in the shoulder blades and along the spine. So first, pull the upper shoulders and the lower shoulders in towards the spine. So the shoulder blades go part way down the back. So make sure you pull the lower shoulder blades in towards the spine and the upper. And then on an inhale, we're going to push up, right? Lift up. And then on the exhale, pull down towards the hips. And just keep it moving, right? Inhale goes up. And exhale pulls down. Okay, awesome. Let's bring the arms back down by our sides. Okay, this time, let's take some fish pose. So this is the big stretch for the ribs, the sternum, across the collarbones, the whole front of the body. So we'll start by bringing our straight legs right next to one another, and then we're going to roll up on top of our arms. Okay, palms are down, right under our seat, and then walk your elbows in towards one another. See if we can get the elbows scooting in together, and then lock them into the ground by pushing down. All right, just a little gentle press down into the floor. Now, first, we're going to keep our neck happy by lifting our head and looking down at our toes. Right, so your eyes are looking down at your toes. Now we're just doing our little sit-up here to shift our weight up onto the elbows. And as much as the shoulders can pull back along the spine, the better here. Because again, this one is all about making space across the front of the body. Okay, do any sort of small adjustments to make it feel like you're just sort of propped up and pretty comfortable. And now we're going to lift our sternum, lift the solar plexus towards the sky. And you can either keep your head a little supported, or you can try just letting it hang back. The important part is lifting the center of the body. Okay, let's bring our head up again to look down at our toes, and we're just going to use a little push with the forearms and the hands, and we'll meet up in easy pose again. Okay, let's do a little more work with the shoulders. So we're going to take the left arm up and then let it drop right behind us. So our left elbow is pointed up at the sky. Now your right hand is going to come up your back, and we're going to get the hands reaching for one another. If they link together, that's fine. If they don't link together, just keep them reaching in towards one another. Okay, now while we keep that pull towards each other going on, see if we can move the top elbow a little bit, right? It's the left shoulder here that's trying to limber up a little bit. Excuse me. Okay, let's see if we can move the lower elbow at all. Mine is pretty stuck where it is, but maybe we can move it some. All right, that's good. Let's set that up for the other side. So right hand goes up, it's going to drop down behind us. Left hand's going to go at the back. And we're going to see if we can get them to meet. If they don't meet, just keep them reaching for each other. And let's see if we can give the top elbow a little movement. notice some movement. Okay, that's good. Let's let that go. And we'll prop ourselves up with a straight left arm. So basically we're going to be bending out to the right. So we're using our right hand just to sort of, so we don't flop all the way over, basically. And we're going to take the right arm out, palm up, and it's going to come up and over, and that's going to help us open here, open along the ribs, down into the abdomen. See what you can find. You can even come down to your left elbow if that helps. Just set it up. It's successful. This pose will look different for all of us because all of our bodies are built different and we have to do different things to change the shape of the right side, right? So it's not about how it looks, it's about how it feels. Find a place where you feel an active stretch, right? Find a place where you feel change happening. And then just stay there. Keep returning your focus to it. Okay, let's come on back up to center. And we'll take it to the other side. Right hand is going to prop us. Left hand goes up. It's going to come up and over. It might be even the left hip, might be just above the left hip. See what you can find. And it could change day to day. See what you can find there on the left side. And let the weight of the upper body, that's why we drop it over to the side here, because once we get off of center, any movement over here, if we can release, gravity uses that as a handle, right? We're letting gravity move the upper body towards the ground because we want that space on the left side. And if you ever hit a point, if you ever hit a point in this pose where it feels like it's not really working and you don't feel much, lift the belly, send the front of the body forward again, and it's sure to pick up somewhere. Okay, cool, let's come back to center. And we'll take some fireballs pose, right? This is a hip stretch. We're going to take the right leg and extend it out to the side, okay? And then our left heel is going to land just below the right knee. And the angle for this will make sense in a minute. We're used to in easy pose tucking in here, but we want that foot nice and low, below the right knee. And then we're going to bend the right knee and see if we can find a new home for the right foot. Up on the calf, or the shin, or maybe up on top of the opposite knee. Just find a place where it will stick. And if your hands are free, bring your hands to this top knee, just to add a little bit of weight. We're not pushing, just let the arms settle there. Notice the right hip. And this could be plenty stretch. If you want more, you just lean it forward. Okay, let's take that apart and we'll send the left leg out straight this time. Same deal, right heel lands just inside the left knee, and then it's going to come across with the left foot, see if we can find a new spot for it. Okay, that's good. Let's take it apart. And we'll find our regular easy pose again. Okay, and let's just fold it forward. So from our regular seated pose, just let the upper body come forward. Use your hands and arms wherever they feel good to help prop. And then see where that's affecting the lower back and the sacrum and the back of the hips and the upper legs. And then try to stay nice and forward, right? Stay as forward as we can be, but let's walk the upper body around over the hips. Use the hands and arms to do some circles here over our seated pose. Okay, that's good. Let's do a little bit of tapping here. So this is something that the therapists at school use with autism spectrum kids that help. I think it probably has to do with the vagal nerve, which has a lot to do with our mood regulation and our sense of sort of security and comfort. But what we're doing is just tapping on a couple different places, and you can do this all over the body. You know, in Qigong, we're always doing some tapping. We're gonna concentrate on the face here for a moment. We're gonna use our the index finger, the middle finger, and the ring finger here, and we're just gonna tap first along the ridge of the eyebrows. Right? Just give a couple little taps there, gentle. See what it feels like. And just like usual, we're activating the body. We're telling that part of the body, I see you. I'm aware of you. Welcome to the team. All right, let's change our spot to right under the eyes, right? And then maybe a little outside the eyeballs too, or outside the eye socket. Okay, now we'll take a few taps right under our nose, right, above our upper teeth. And then a couple above the chin. Awesome. Let's let that go. No, just notice for a second. See if you can feel that sort of sense of aliveness in the face. Facial life. Okay, let's go ahead and take both legs out straight again. And we're going to extend the arms here and then bring the knees up in front of our chest, right? We'll take a little boat pose. And it could look like just leaning back and balancing, right? This is plenty boat. But if you want to row the boat or move it around, you're welcome to extend the knees, and you can keep them straight or you can keep it moving. This is your boat. Okay, let's go ahead and extend both legs, and we're going to cross the right over the left this time. And of course, we're going to start from our regular easy pose. Our spine is holding us up, our lower back is engaged, our heart is lifted, and then let's just fold it forward over the left leg. Zoom in to the back of the left leg. Feel when it starts to report back And then when you're like, oh, I'm definitely stretching my leg, then sink into it. Find a way to let the upper body be comfortable, even though the back of the left leg is not 100% comfortable. Change never is, but it still can be exciting, even if it's not 100% pleasurable. It can still be good. One of my when I was in school, I went to the University of Georgia to study photography, and one of my teachers at the art school gave us the maxim that the perfect is the enemy of the good. Mm-hmm. I've always loved that.
Oh yeah.
Because I won't do anything. If I wait till the exact right time and the perfect circumstances, I get stuck, I don't do anything. So I try to remind myself that the perfect is the enemy of the good and just do something. Alright, let's roll it up, right? My dad told me the same thing when I was younger, but his words were above it for do something even if it's wrong. So let's extend the right leg this time. You can either keep the left leg bent inside the lap here, or you can cross it over, whichever way feels most balanced. And we're going to just fold it forward. Okay. Let's come on up right. And then find a very comfortable, easy pose. And what we're going to do for our meditation today is just be real still, right? Stillness is, I came across this awesome quote from the actor Morgan Freeman, and it's about the importance of stillness, but the last sentence of it is that stillness becomes radiance, and that's such a wonderful phrase. When you see a person who's managed to really be still, sink into themselves, you become dense, right? Dense, not mentally dense, but dense in a good way, more present and more solid. Stillness in itself is healthy and healing and wholesome. So that's what we'll work with today. There's going to be 3 places where we check in for that stillness. Number 1 is the legs. So as we're building our easy pose, mine's going to look a little different today because of that hip thing, but put your legs where you want them to stay, and we're going to try to keep them right there, okay? The second spot is our hands. Right? I'm a fidgeter, so a lot of times I'll link my hands together like so to keep them from jumping around, or at least moving without my permission, but just wherever it feels most comfortable on your hands and arms, because we're going to try to keep them still. And then the last place is closing our eyes, right? So we're just going to try to keep our eyes closed and keep our hands still, and keep our legs and feet still, and we're not worried too much about what our mind is doing, right? To me, it's very comforting and victorious when I'm sitting here and my brain is busy as normal, and I start to get worried about it, but then I'm like, are my eyes closed? Check. Are my hands still? Check. Am I sitting still? Check. And that means we're doing it right? It's physical stillness, and it teaches us that activity or mental activity can usually be dispensed with no loss, right? It's not important, it's just automatic chatter, right? So we're not trying to push it away, but we're also not going down those boulevards of thought, and we're not following up our trains of thought, right? We're trying to stay in the physical and we don't have to bear down on it, but we're just noticing our legs, making sure that they're still, making sure our hands are still and our eyes are closed, and we'll just take 5 minutes here. notice how when we be still on purpose, it's sort of self-perpetuating, right? It's like inertia, like it's okay to stay there. Once we get there, we're like, oh, okay, it's not so bad, you know? Stillness is a good thing. Well, thanks for practicing with me today. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
That was fun. It brought to mind too, I might have mentioned before, I did this wonderful meditation retreat. This is, 10 years ago now, and it was Vipassana meditation, which is usually like body scanning, you know, that was the main practice, is like noticing this, and noticing this, and noticing this. But one night it was like a challenge, you know, we would do something different, and it cracked me up because Vipassana meditation is from a subset of Buddhism based in Burma, like Southeast Asia, and I love like glitches of translation, like funny, clumsy translation, you know, stuff like that just tickles me. So the challenge that night was called a sitting of strong determination. Tonight we'll have a sitting of strong determination. But it really was. It was an hour, a period of an hour where the instruction was just to be totally still, right? To do that for an hour. And it was so hard. And I remember just working so hard for it, struggling so hard for it, and leaving, like walking out of the meditation hall afterwards and being just like not in control of my body. It was just like jerking and jumping and moving all around. It was incredible. It wasn't comfortable, but I was like, wow, look at it go.